Hello and welcome to Freedom from the Night. I'm your host, Shantae. Today's topic is deception, is hallucination. Okay? Deception is hallucination. That's the topic. And so I must stay on topic. Deception is hallucination. Now, hallucination is deception. They are different words, but when they meet up at the end, they are the same. They are the same, okay? Because of the habit that they form for us. Both words meet up at the end because of the habit that they form before us. All right? And the habits that they form is to do with with relationship. All right? The habit, the word habit is the same as relationship, because you got to build a habit. You got to form a habit. You got to form a relationship. You got to build a relationship. So when it comes to habit, it's the same as relationship. And so is the word side effects. We'll take the notes down. The word side effects is the same as relationship as well. Okay? So let's say the word sin. The word sin isn't the problem in the world. That word is not the problem in the world. That's not it. It is when the side effects of the word sin becomes seeing, hearing, feeling something that does not exist due to the blessings in which God created when when his son Jesus rose upon the earth, creating blessings for us. Now, in that you don't see, that is a habit form. That is a relationship. There is no deception there. Understand? Okay? And the word side effect again is the same as relationship. The word side effect is the same as the word relationship. Okay? And that word sin, it doesn't become a problem. It's, again, as I spoke about at first, that this word sin is not the problem. The word sin becomes a problem when you begin building that relationship with sin, like this is real and to be believed upon. Okay? And a lot of people get the word believe mixed up with stir up. Stir up. Okay? It's not that people believe, but they use that word believe. They be like, I believe in Jesus, or I believe in your God. They be saying different things like that. Now, when they say things like that, they are not in the word believe. They in the word stir up, because you just by somebody saying something, it doesn't mean that they believe. So I hear a lot of people saying that it's not just about believing. It's just about believing. It's people who stir up. They stir up. That's their job. Every day they wake up to stir you up. There is a difference between the word stir up, write this down, and believe. Okay? Write that down. You need these notes. Take them. It is a difference between, and this is in the Bible as well. There is a difference between the word stir up and believe, because it's a lot of people that will stir up the spirit and then believe what comes from that spirit after that person get done stirring up the spirit. So then they test the stir up by the spirit. They ain't testing the spirit by the spirit. They then test the stir up that they created by the Spirit. And that's not what God said. You are doing the opposite of what God told you to do when you are stirring up the Spirit. It said test the Spirit by the Spirit, which means that it's saying that your spirit by their spirit. If they showing that they love, which you supposed to be edified in, when you are in love, you will operate out of love, and that spirit will test another spirit, and that's when you'll know that either they will be there for the long run or they will flee, because that was deception. That was hallucination. And it wasn't real. Believe me. Again, sin is not the problem. Sin becomes the problem when you believe that this is how it's supposed to be. Okay? When you start believing in this deception and thinking that this is belief. This is not belief. This is stirring up of your conscience, stirring up of your heart, the main organ of all things. It's stirring up of your heart, causing you to be double-minded, because you got to have the connection of the hearing here connected with the heart. You got to get your thoughts connected with your heart, and your heart is stirred up of strife. All right, your heart will be at this time stirred up of strife, and that strife will cause you to hallucinate. And you will walk in there thinking that this is correct. And then Satan, you hearing things from Satan like this is how it's supposed to be. And this is belief. No, that's not belief. You are in a stir-up. Alright? Which, in other words, a storm. A storm is about to happen. So if you have, like, say, for instance, if you have a dream about a storm, that's a stir up. So be leery of you becoming something that you are not. Don't become it. So then the next move, if a storm comes, don't become whatever it is that's about to be stirred up upon you. Even if the person is nice towards you, that's still a stir up. They still can stir you up through their niceness. So you still gotta be you, the blessed one, not curse, the blessed one. Because that storm comes don't mean that you got to be somebody that you are not. So the remedy for the storm that you have in your dream is to stay abiding. Do not move, do not bulge, do not make a movement out of the place of God. Read the word. Get lined up. Get your thoughts lined up with your heart. Do not go about double-minded all day. Even if they get you off for a little bit, you return back. Because that's called God. That's being that God picks you up off the ground. That's grace. That's called grace. When God picks you up off that ground because you fall, that's grace. And mercy is when you walk it out. I spoke about this before. Mercy is when you walk it out. Walk, beloved. Walk. Belief and stir up, two different things. People will stir you up and believe for that lie that they stirred up inside of you. But belief is just belief. Yeah. It's not the word. It's not this. Oh, it's not just about belief. No, belief is just belief. It is a situation when people stir people up and they make people be a certain way and get them off of get them off their game and have them responding and acting in such a way. Now, that is when that's the storm. Now, the remedy to the storm is for you to get back up again and walk right. Do not proceed in doing anything of the such that you've been stirred up of. And now you in the stir up, not the belief. Stir up looks like belief. That's the whole point. Stir up looks like belief. But when you walking out, you cannot walk in that belief. All right? That stir up. That's the word. That word is stir up. That's the difference. You cannot walk in that. That's not the word belief. That is the word stir up. And you got to switch it up and get right back right with the grace and mercy of God. The grace is when you get back up after you fallen, and the mercy is when you walk it out, because you know God had mercy upon you. So now walk that out. So when you go to your neighbor, you won't be walking in the sin agreement that stirred you up in the first place. And then posing as belief. It's not real. It's posing as belief. So guess what? It is just about belief. Simple as that. Okay? So again, back to topic. Deception is hallucination. It is not the sin that's the problem. It's when you start beginning to think that the sin is real by building a relationship with it. That becomes the problem. And you start feeling feelings, you start hearing things, and you start seeing things as though that's the reality of it. And it's not the reality. That's not real. It's posing as though it is real, which is why God said responsibility is with you. You hold responsibility. Even from birth, you hold responsibility. Okay? As a child, children hold responsibility on up. Now, people stirring these children up of what they stirring them up of, that's not belief. That's these kids being stirred up of this. And now they walking in that shake. They can't even stay still. I did a video about this, about being walking up in the stir up, and they got this shake upon them when your kids can't keep still, and you wondering why they consistently can't be still. They can't do but you call them bad kids. No, these kids are stirred up of something that is in belief. See, that's why belief and stir up look the same. They look the same, and they act out as though the same. They not. Okay? They're not. They're not. They are separated when it comes to God. Okay? God separates those words, belief and stir up. Even though they look to be the same. Somebody will stir you up. That's hate. That's not love. When a person not walking in love, they walking in hate. And if they walking in hate, that don't mean they jealous of you. That means they want to stir up the word jealousy. They want to stir up the words that's contrary to God and the blessing upon the earth that he has laid down for us. And then a perfect example is of the stir up and the sin is when, in the belief, these words, sin, belief, and stir up, is when God says Satan, he have Satan do what he do. Yeah, Satan can do whatever he want to do. But it becomes a problem when Satan can begin to deceive you. Hallucinate you into doing what it is that he says to do. That's when the sin becomes the problem. That's when the belief becomes the problem. That's when the habit becomes the problem. When you build a relationship, overall, a relationship with something that is not real, but it's posing as though it is. Understand? The relationship of everything is where the problem lies. That's the storm. That's the storm is the problem. The problem can be from someone else or from you. Okay? because someone else brought the problem to you. And the problem now is in your hand. And now if you go get it to somebody else, oh, God gonna have a problem with that. That means that you built this the relationship. That's the problem. The storm is what you see in the spirit realm that you building. The relationship is on the outer side of the flesh. It comes as a storm in the spirit, but on the outer side you building a relationship with something that is not real, and you walking in it to give that to your neighbor. And what this God's law says, you are not to do any harm to your neighbor. You're posing that as though it is real, and it is not. Okay? So it becomes a problem. The storm becomes the problem. So write that down. Storm equals problem. Problem equals storm. They are the same. Okay? They are the one word together. So the storm becomes a problem, and the storm becomes a storm and stays a storm and and the problem becomes a problem and stays a problem when you are building a relationship with something. Relationship. When it becomes a relationship, this relationship is the problem, because the relationship that you have with it is deception. It's deception in between. It's hallucination for your whole body. And hallucination is sin. Just like hallucination is deception. Deception is sin. Okay? So again, Satan can do all of what he want to do. He can just jump up like a little spoiled brat all day, y'all, if he want to. But it is when you build a relationship, that's when God has the problem with what's deceptions, with the word deception, with the word hallucination, and thinking as though this is appearing real. So before you demonstrate out this sin, think about it. This word sin, think about it. Do not demonstrate it. Do not falsely claim this word when you are walking out. When you get up, that's grace. When you walk out, that's mercy. And mercy somebody had upon you. And that spirit, and mercy spirit had upon you. And that spirit is God. God had mercy. You know? Just like I found out a long time ago that the beats belong to somebody. A beat belongs to somebody. Somebody. So does mercy. Mercy belongs to somebody. And it causes you to walk out in the word belief. In your reality of the word belief. Other than that, it's stir up. It is not belief. It's stir up. People will stir you up, causing it to build the relationship like it's belief. That's hallucination. When you are stirred up, you shake, you're wavering. It's called wavering. You are wavering in and out. You're shaking. You got the kids. These kids are hallucinating when they are shaking and they can't stop. That is hallucination. They walking in that stuff like this stuff is real. All right? They not bad kids. It's some bad things going on before their very own feelings, before their very own eyes, before their very own hearing. That gets into their thoughts, that gets them double-minded away from the heart. They need to be connected back to the heart. Even with this, even with this, all that need to be connected back to the heart. And when they get that connected back, they are no longer double-minded. Understand? They are together one. Now, it's up to them to walk out the blessing or the curse. We cannot keep holding ourselves responsible for certain things when you doing what you supposed to do. The kids in the Bible that according to the Bible, not all those people who were doing God's will and were selected by God to serve him, their kids, not all their kids did what's supposed to do. That's not true. So to put that pressure upon a adult, a parent, is all wrong. Can't do that. Just because your kid's not right, that don't mean nothing for you. They are responsible for what they do. You can do everything in the world and still your kids will do what they want to do. Due to relationship, deception, stirring up of, habit forming of, all these words. Understand? So cut that out. All right? Be responsible for you so that you can carry it out and do discipling. Be in the aura, in the realm of discipling at all times. No matter how you say something, no matter not, it's going to come out ready for discipling. When you say something, it's going to come out ready for discipling. When you do something, it's going to come out ready for discipling. Discipling is the word. Do. It's in the word do, okay? It's in the word do. The do. So, and yes, you have a friendship with you, not other people. That causes a stranger to invest in you, okay? You are to friend you so that that you'll know that the Holy Spirit, that friend, brings point upon you counselors that reward you of your surroundings. So now your surroundings, you are looking into your surroundings now. When you look in your surroundings, that means that you're ready to disciple at all times. And when you're looking in your surroundings and discipling at all times, you will speak different in other tongues. You'll have another tongue other than your tongue. So that's what it means by speaking into other tongues. You will have another tongue other than your own tongue that you used to talking in. Okay? That tongue. All right? That's a tongue too. Speaking in another way other than your own way that you used to talking in. Walking in another way that you're not, walking in another way that you're not used to walking in, but you walk in it anyway. Being that you want to walk in your old self, but you walking in something different. These are all tongues. Tongues is everything. And speaking in tongues is everything, okay? I'm telling you. You walking, talking, breathing in air of something else. It's totally different. Because now you walking and talking and you breathing in holiness. Holiness is abound. And you are abiding in it. And you will not give that to the neighbor when you walk out in grace and mercy. All right? Stay tuned for more. Stay blessed. Bye for now.